This started out like families, which start out with one person and then another person, and then they grow and grow and grow. Welcome. This song started out by one person, but as you will see, has grown and grown and grown and wouldn't be possible without everybody in this room. And this song I started working on about 2.5 months ago, but it really took a lifetime to create because I've known my Uncle Peter for my whole lifetime. And
True.
But the nugget that crystallized what this song is about happened 26 years ago when I was in college in Costa Rica as an exchange student. And on March 26, 1982, Peter and Melanie sent me a letter. Well, Peter sent the letter. And it starts out, "Dear Lori, Melanie, the girls and I were delighted to receive your various letters from Costa Rica. We feel as we're sharing your experience, and we sure you're improving your Spanish, but you're also growing up in a lot of different ways." And then he goes on to say that I've not discussed the following suggestion with your parents because I do not want to worry them, and the idea may be off the wall, but your Uncle Peter will make it anyway. And then he goes on to say that this is 1982, and things in Central America were not stable. And so, he says, there was a recent cover story in Time magazine stressing the instability of all of the Central American countries, although it appears that Costa Rica is the most stable of them all. What I am delicately leading up to, Lori, is that Melanie and I are somewhat concerned about your safety in that country, and we wanted you to know that if at any time you wanted to leave on short notice, it would not be necessary to wait until your exchange program is over, and don't worry about the fact that everything's paid for, all that stuff. Don't worry at all. And I'm reading, and he says, if you will just give us some details as to whether a jet airport is available in San Jose, etc., we would be pleased to send you a blank ticket with an open return date so that you can get out of that country in a hurry. So I'm going, okay, either he is completely loony or I'm completely clueless. Next paragraph. You probably think that your old aunt and uncle are a bunch of alarmists. However, we're worried about you and we want you to be able to get out of there fast. And then he says, I hope this hasn't spoiled your visit there. Given my own background in Germany, he writes, and the fact that I lost many relatives because they waited a little too long, I am probably a little more gun-shy than most people. But as that old saying goes, better safe than sorry. Then next paragraph, on a more pleasant note, Melanie is enjoying new freedom after taking the bar exam. Michelle is graduating from grammar school in June. And we're looking forward to having Renee attend UC Santa Cruz. And, Melanie, Michelle, and Diana all join me in sending you all our love. As always, Peter.
I think that's an excellent letter.
It is.
The author should be commended.
And so then, May 5th, 1982, so 6 weeks later, this is, when letters and stamps and, I could have been totally, who knows, between that time. But, dear Lori, thank you very much for your recent letter, inspired by your suggestion that the matter be discussed with your parents. I spoke at great length with your mother last weekend. She felt strongly that Costa Rica was a safe place to live.
Don't worry about my children.
And reassured me by advising me that you were planning to return in the near future. And then said, under the circumstances, however, we've made the following arrangements. Basically, you can call either your parents or me at any time, collect. We will arrange to telegraph funds through American Express or the correspondent of one of our banks to make funds available for an airline ticket. And then he gives me all his phone numbers and the banker and the authorization letter. And that says that the limits of this, that he's authorizing you, the banker, to wire funds at her request to any Latin American bank, etc., or to any international airline. The limits of this authorization are $5,000. I have furnished Lori the code word from the personal service line, which he told me is Shevingen, and we will talk about that.
That's not how you pronounce it.
Okay.
They would never send, it's called Scheveningen.
Good thing she didn't have to use it, because she would never have passed that exam.
That's right, I would have never gotten out. And you know, the big bummer of all this is the authorization will expire on June 30th, 1982. I never got to use it. But, so, that is my Uncle Peter.
Yes.
In a nutshell, right? What else on this plan? Right. We'll basically go to that long story.
I'm surprised you kept his letters.
Well, that's the other amazing thing. I've been telling this story about why I wrote this song to the various people in the last few months who've heard that I'm writing this song, and I've told that story, and my recollection was that I got this letter, and it basically said, if at any time you need to be out of there, take off your shoe, dial 911, and a helicopter will lift you away. And I wasn't that far off, and the most amazing thing is I actually did find the letters without looking for very long this week. So, anyway, I know...
I want a copy of those. Because no one else would believe it.
Right, but then I tell you...
Diana, I don't do those things anymore. You're on your own.
Totally non-alarmist.
But that is our Uncle Peter. I mean, he would do anything for anyone. And so, I don't know, so I was inspired to write something to thank him and honor him on this special occasion that I would go to the ends of the earth, if I could, for him. And I don't know what it will mean to you hearing it, and so I'm going to first sing it to you with Kurt playing the recording, the piano of me playing it, so that you can hear the words, and then we're going to do something that involves everybody. And that is the thing I said at the outset about it starting out to be from one person, but really being from all of us, because I think all of us, anyone who's been blessed to know Peter Mayer would feel the same way. So,
And I feel like it's a eulogy already.
This is your life.
So, and credits will come at, you will see, there have been so many people who really helped make this possible, and you'll see that at the end of this. But we won't play, oh yeah, this is just the video, so, I mean, this is just the audio. So I'll sing the song first, yeah.